Hello everyone. In this video lecture, I discuss a new limit test, that is the limit test for arsenic. So here in this lecture, I will elaborate the principle as well as also discuss the basic platform reaction or the basic chemical reaction which is involved in the limit test of arsenic. So as we all know that arsenic is itself a poisonous chemical, and it is really dangerous to have a large quantity of arsenic, as it can cause toxicity in the living population. So it is recommended that whatever the foodstuff or any medicament which is being taken internally or which is being used by the living population or by human being, it must not contain arsenic as an impurity. And in order to know, or in a case where it is difficult to remove all the arsenic from a given compound or a substance, there itself some limit has been permitted. And in order to know whether this arsenic will present in that particular limit or whether the arsenic is present well within a limit, and in order to know that one, we can perform the limit test of arsenic. So this limit test will help us to know that if arsenic is present as an impurity, that impurity, that is the arsenic, is present well within a defined given limit. So let us discuss the basic principle behind the limit test of arsenic. So the limit test of arsenic is based primarily on a chemical reaction between the arsenic and the mercury chloride. So when the arsenic and the mercury chloride react with each other, this will result in a formation of a chemical product which contains arsenic as well as mercury, and that particular compound which is so generated is responsible for formation of a color, and the intensity of that particular color which is produced by the reaction between the arsenic and the mercury chloride will let us know that our foodstuff or the medicament or any chemical compound in which is tested for the arsenic is whether it contains the arsenic or not. So accordingly, if on reacting arsenic with the mercury chloride, if there is a production of yellow stain, this indicates that that particular substance contains the arsenic as an impurity, or arsenic is present in that particular chemical compound. Or in a case if the outcome of this particular reaction is of no color, or no color is produced when arsenic is reacted with the mercury chloride, this will ultimately confirms that there is no arsenic is produced. And to further, on the basis of intensity of the yellow stain or intensity of the color so produced, this also gives us a idea that the amount of arsenic is present in a smaller amount or it is present in a greater amount. So I will now come towards the principle, and here I will discuss the principle as principle for the limit test of arsenic as that the limit test of arsenic is based on a chemical reaction between the arsenic which is present as an impurity is initially converted into the arsine gas, and the arsine gas which is so produced by suitable chemical reaction is further allowed to react with the mercury chloride paper in order to produce a yellow stain. And the intensity of the yellow stain so produced is then used to know the quantity or the extent of arsenic present in the sample. So, in any chemical compound which contains an arsenic, generally the arsenic is present in a bounded form, and in order to free the arsenic, we have to initiate a set of reaction, and these reactions are ultimately release the bounded arsenic, or it converts the bounded arsenic into the arsine gas, and the gas which is so produced then gets react with the mercury chloride paper in order to produce a yellow stain. So this yellow stain, the intensity of this yellow stain is directly proportional to the net quantity of the arsenic present in the sample, and accordingly we can determine and we can know here with this help of this particular reaction whether our sample or whether the chemical compound contains arsenic or not, the very first thing. And then after this we can able to know what is the exact quantity of arsenic present in the sample. So we can here by this particular chemical reaction we are able to determine whether our sample contain an arsenic. We can determine the two very important thing. The first one is we can able to know whether our sample contains arsenic or not, and the second one is if what is ultimately the net quantity of arsenic is present in our sample. And in order to determine the second point, in order to know the second point, that is what is the net quantity of arsenic present in the sample, we have to make a comparative analysis. On the basis of that particular comparative analysis we can able to know that whether what is the exact quantity is present, and whether this particular quantity whatever is present when it's compared with the standard, whether that particular sample contains a lesser amount of arsenic or it's contain a greater amount of arsenic with the in comparison with the standard. So to further, the limit test of arsenic is performed in a specially designed apparatus. That is this whole procedure, that is the whole reaction which I here discussed under the principle is performed in a very specially designed apparatus which is known as Gutzit's apparatus. So this particular set of chemical reaction which I discussed earlier is takes place inside the Gutzit's apparatus, and this Gutzit's apparatus is designed in a such a way that whatever the arsine gas is produced, it will ultimately gets directly reacted with the mercury chloride paper without any loss. So once the particular gas, that is the arsine gas which is produced, it gets react with the mercury chloride paper, it ultimately produce the yellow stain. And the apparatus which is used here for this purpose for arsenic limit test is known as Gutzit's apparatus. So I will also further discuss what is the Gutzit's apparatus is. Anyhow, in this particular video lecture I will only emphasize on the principle and the basic chemical reaction so involved here in the limit test of arsenic. So further, let us we will look into the basic chemical reaction involved in the limit test of arsenic. So let us discuss the involved chemical reaction in limit test for arsenic. So according to the principle which I discussed, I here framed the chemical reaction accordingly, which is or which provide the basic platform for limit test of arsenic. So you can here see that limit test of arsenic is based on a sequential reactions which are used for the determination or identification of arsenic under its limit test, and the overall outcome of this reaction is consist of following 4 steps, which you can here see on the screen. So I am going to discuss each and every chemical reaction in a sequential manner, and also explain the outcome of this particular reaction further. So let us look into the very first reaction. Here you can see that arsenic, which is present as an impurity, when it comes in contact with water and oxygen, or when the arsenic present as an impurity comes in contact, or when it's react with water and oxygen, it leads to formation of arsenic acid. So the arsenic acid can also be produced by other reaction also, but anyhow, as what the procedure we are adopting in a laboratory for preparation of sample, we itself there dissolve our substance or the sample under the test in presence of suitable solvent, which is usually water, and as the reaction is taking place under the effect of oxygen or in a general atmospheric condition, so I here only show the very or the such reaction condition which we are encountering during the sample preparation for limit test of arsenic. So rather than taking any other method for yielding of arsenic acid from arsene, from arsenic, I here reacted the sample which contains the arsenic as an impurity with water and oxygen, and this ultimately leads to the formation of arsenic acid. So in the very first step, the arsenic acid is yielded from the sample, if the sample contains arsenic as an impurity, by treating or by reacting the sample in presence of water and oxygen. So once we are done with the yielding of arsenic acid, in step 2, the arsenic acid is get converted into the arsenious acid. So in step 2, we are yielding the arsenious acid from arsenic acid, and to further, in step 3, the arsenious acid is react with the nascent hydrogen in order to liberate the arsine gas. So here the nascent hydrogen which is used to react with the arsenous acid, this nascent hydrogen is produced by a reaction between the zinc metal and the hydrochloric acid which is used in the chemical reaction. So the arsenous acid when reacts with the nascent hydrogen, this causes the liberation of arsine gas, and the liberated arsine gas is further reacts with the mercury chloride paper, as you can see here in the step 4. You can see that arsine gas which is liberated in the step 3 is react with the mercury chloride paper or the mercury chloride, which results in formation of a chemical compound which you can here see that which is responsible for formation of yellow stain. So this is how the arsine gas is produced in following sequential steps, which is then be used for detection, and which is then treated, react with the mercury chloride paper to form a yellow stain. And this appearance of yellow stain confirms us that our sample contain arsenic as an impurity, and the intensity of the yellow stain which is so produced is correlated with the net quantity of arsenic as an impurity, or the net quantity of arsenic as an impurity present in the sample. So this is the overall chemical reaction involved in the limit test of arsenic.